No!
Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of Helpful Dollar. Today we're going to be covering dollar defense, why protecting the wealth you created is crucial. Do you know that bitter sting of losing progress in something you worked so hard for? Maybe it's a video game like Dark Souls where you decided not to use a save point because you were literally untouchable. Until 30 seconds later you get one shot by a dragon and find yourself questioning every life decision you made up until that point. Haha, loser. Or what about doing your hair and makeup for an hour and a half only to walk outside and find the humidity is over 1000% and your painstaking work means 0% to Mother Nature. Thanks a lot, Earth! Not to mention working on a project on your computer for hours upon hours and forgetting to save along the way only to find the application crashed and none of your progress is saved. What do all these scenarios have in common? They all suck. Nobody likes getting slapped unexpectedly. So do your best to prepare for all the unexpected life financial drama you're bound to see at some point. In today's absolutely riveting topic, we'll cover keeping the largest and most common beasts contained, then move on to preparing for the "oh sugar honey iced tea" moments, and finally addressing what the whole eggs in one basket fiasco is. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Let's start with number 1, keeping the largest and most common beasts contained. As the pessimistic part of you always says, what could possibly go wrong? Ha ha, everything. Some of the most popular and expensive things to go wrong include, oh no, my car is totaled. Who would have thought that drinking a Frappuccino, holding my dog, texting, and dancing to Hips Don't Lie by Shakira could have resulted in this? Or, oh man, I can't believe jumping off my friend's roof for $20 resulted in a broken ankle and crippled ego. Not to mention, wow, that's crazy to think that only biting down on Jolly Ranchers for the entirety of my childhood caused a chipped tooth and all the cavities. To recap, we have a car catastrophe, a broken bone, and a tattered tooth. What could help pay for all these things you absolutely annihilated? Okay, no more Dr. Seuss level alliteration. Insurance definitely comes in clutch in all these conundrums. Insurance was specifically designed to address situations like this and make a stupid amount of money, but that's a rant for another time. Even if insurance likes to be more difficult than your drunk uncle at a family gathering, in the end it's worth it. There are 4 main things that drive how much insurance will cost you. Number 1, premiums. The amount you pay monthly to protect yourself
from mayhem, like me.
Number 2, deductibles. How much you pay when all the things go wrong. Number 3, coverage. Does insurance cover a paper cut or a shattered pelvis? And number 4, risk. As in, do you shatter your pelvis often, or is this a once in a blue moon sort of deal? Each of these factors will be considered when paying for insurance. For example, if you pay for a high premium, monthly amount, then deductibles tend to be lower when things go wrong. Or if you have coverage over everything under the sun, you may pay a higher premium. And it may go without saying that if you crash your car every week, insurance may be unfathomably expensive. But know this, living without proper insurance or no insurance at all is a bad kind of dangerous life to live. Insurance may mean the difference between breaking your ankles or breaking your ankles and being broke. Your helpful dollar tip, find the best deals on insurance by shopping around. Look for some links in the description below on top comparison sites for health, dental, and car insurance. Number 2, preparing for the "oh sugar honey iced tea" moments. First off, here's what I mean by "oh sugar honey iced tea."
Marty! Alex! Marty! Oh, Marty! Alex? Marty! Oh, sugar honey iced tea!
Now, Chris Rock, Marty the Zebra, probably wish he had an emergency savings right about then. Yeah, what's that? Money wouldn't have saved him in that exact moment right there? Well, I guess beyond line mullings, an emergency savings should work mostly okayish. An emergency savings is a liquid, meaning easily accessible cash reserve for all the moments that A, insurance isn't going to cover you, or B, you're not being mauled by a zoo animal. Want to make that real clear for everyone, it's a huge liability for me. Now there are 2 tiers of emergency savingness to think about when figuring out how much you should save. Illustrated by one of the best moments in acting history within the Batman trilogy, there's number 1, the "that's not good" tier,
not good.
And number 2, the okay, that's not good tier.
Okay, that's not good.
Easily one of the most well-executed acting scenes in that entire franchise, and I don't even know this guy's name. Number 1, that's not good tier, is holding $1,000 in your piggy bank. This number gets thrown around a lot as a great entry-level emergency savings number because $1,000 will get you out of a lot of bad situations. But yet again, not that one. Once you can afford that's not good tier, I'd make a move towards the okay, that's not good tier by holding 3 to 6 months of livable income in your slightly larger piggy bank. For example, if your fixed expenses are $1,000 a month and your variable expenses are also around $1,000 a month, your livable monthly income is $2,000 a month. So you should shoot for an emergency savings of $6,000 to $12,000, which is $2,000 times 3 months and $2,000 times 6 months. Sounds like a lot? You're damn right it is. It's meant to protect you in the event that you lose your job so you can keep living your lifestyle while finding another place to watch YouTube on your work computer. Similar to having insurance, an emergency saving ensures the progress you've made in building assets isn't wasted. Because without an emergency savings, you run the risk of having to use money from the assets you worked so hard to build. And by doing so, you lose the sweet momentum built up from compound interest, mentioned previously in the dollar offense video. So your helpful dollar tip is to start building and tracking your emergency savings. Shoot for the that's not good tier first of $1,000 and move up from there. Number 3, addressing what the whole eggs in one basket fiasco is. Antonio, are you talking about going Easter egg hunting with a ridiculous amount of baskets? No, viewer. Do you know how incredibly difficult that sounds? Does this look like fun to you? I'm talking about not betting it all on black when you can't even say your name correctly. I'm talking about not going down to the racetrack and putting all the money you owe to your friendly neighborhood mafia member on lucky day. I'm talking about putting your assets in different areas so you can achieve diversification. Oh no. Divergentification. I'm sorry. Who keeps greenlighting this font size? What's that? I'm an idiot for not knowing how to pronounce diversification? Diversification. Okay, yeah, noted. So diversification is spreading your assets to different areas so you don't gain or lose money in such a dramatic fashion. As seen here in the graph, the more stocks, which is part ownership of a company, in a portfolio, which is a group of stocks and bonds, the less risky the investment is. It's because in a portfolio, stocks that are struggling are balanced out by stocks that are taking over the world, like the awfulness of Sears being balanced out by the dominance of Amazon. This is why you may hear advice on putting some money into the stock market, some money into bonds, which is a lower earning and safer investment tool, and some money in, let's say, real estate. The idea of not putting your eggs in one basket is to crawl across the investing ice to make a little progress versus sprinting across the ice like a madman. If you become too focused on building off of one specific asset in one area, you could turn out to be a gazillionaire. Suck it, Bezos. But if in the same scenario you biff it, you run the risk of losing all those assets you worked so hard for. So be smart and think twice when betting it all on lucky day.
It's a lucky day! Oh, what happened? To the east. And here comes Fish Fingers, followed by Seabiscuit, Yellowtail, and Fish Fingers.
You should be proud because we've come a long way through dollar management, dollar offense, and dollar defense. So let's quickly recap. Dollar management helps you understand where the monies should be going. Dollar offense explains how building assets is more attainable than you think. And dollar defense shows the power of protecting what you've worked so hard for. These 3 concepts are what every wealthy person has taken into consideration when building their empire. Now, I'm not saying you need to go all Emperor Palpatine on me, but Helpful Dollar was created to motivate young adults to take steps towards dreams that are bigger than their income. Financial wellness doesn't mean being the richest. It means finding a balance so you can be healthy and happy with your finances, which again is one of the 8 spheres of wellness. If you haven't already, go watch the previous videos so you can better understand the full picture. And remember, if no one else has already told you, you can absolutely 100% find financial wellness. I would love nothing more than to see you get there. As mentioned before, I'll throw a link in the description on some websites to use when shopping for health, dental, and car insurance. Slap a like if you appreciate what I'm doing here. Comment, because next week is when we can cover literally any finance thing you want. I'll have a few things queued up as topics, but I want to hear from you. And subscribe to keep your financial sanity and avoid crying in a bathtub. And I'd totes forgotten all the other videos, but hit the bell button when you subscribe to keep updated on all new videos that are fresh off the press. And please don't ever forget, everyone needs helpful dollars.